So I wanted to start off today with a video on what you accomplished. So I'll just go in order of the things that were presented to you. So by the sub. So these are the order that I would have liked him to present it, and I'm going to give reasons for why I did that. First of all, you received this. Now, what is Chao Pei Su Ching? Well, this is the Chinese proof for the Pythagorean theorem that was done over 3,000 years ago, and it was found in the Chao Pei Su Ching. Chao Pei Su Ching is the ancient manuscript that is what this is contained in. So if you're wondering what Chao Pei Su Ching is, it is an ancient mathematical Chinese text. So I wanted you to see that. So you might have been clueless when you saw that, and we moved on. Then I had the sub give you these two pieces of paper. One that listed the leg lengths of triangles in a table. On the other piece of paper I gave you was a piece of dot paper that had the triangles, every single triangle actually, drawn for you. So the side length 1 and 1, I had this triangle drawn here, a 1 and 1, and the diagonal there, the hypotenuse. And I listed for you the areas right there. I squared the side lengths for you and drew those in so you could easily fill them into the table. So here is the one with 1 by 2. Here is the triangle also. Here's the 2 by 2 triangle, but I drew the hypotenuse square on there for you because those squares are hard to draw. I also gave you the 1 by 3 right here from the table, and I drew the hypotenuse square on there for you because that one is hard to draw. So they were all on the paper that were given to you, and you were able to discover what that meant, and you were able to fill out your table. And then you received another piece of paper where you had written a conjecture and you were required to test it. So then you received this. Many of you didn't have a whole lot of problem with this one because it was simply solving for the hypotenuse given the legs. You squared the legs and you added them together. Many people looked like when, or from the subnotes, weren't able to do this one well. They got confused. And that was because it was no longer a straightforward thing, and you had not been shown how to do this. The tables I had given you led you to how to find the long side, the hypotenuse, but not how to find a leg of a triangle. So you had to do subtraction in order to make that work. Once you had learned that you needed subtraction, you had become a master of any side on a right triangle. You were able to solve for any side. So then I wanted you to receive a piece of paper like this that required you to have a grab bag of different triangles. Some with hypotenuses that you needed to find, and some with leg lengths. Once you're able to complete that, then I brought you back to the dot paper with just a diagonal line. After looking through your folders, I noticed most people drew a triangle and found the side length. So this was 2 and this was 4. You can see why the Pythagorean theorem is so handy. It is hard to calculate a diagonal line and its distance. But you can calculate any diagonal line if you make a right triangle out of it. Because up and down and left and right are so easy. Once you had completed that, or about this time, I might have cut you off where you were, and I brought you back to this. I wanted the sub to present this to you. And I asked the sub to circle this and have you translate this picture to him and telling him what it means. And many of you saw, I saw this written on many of your papers, that 9 squares were in this big square, and 16 little squares were in this one, and 25 were in this one. And many of you knew that these two needed to add and make that area. Then I saw many of you were able to translate these words right here. These are actually the legs of the triangle, or leg A and leg B, or leg 1 and leg 2, as you put that. I let the sub pass you on if you had labeled those either legs or A or B or 1 or 2. And let's just think about this. You got to this point on a piece of paper that actually probably looks like gibberish to most people in real life. Like, this is hard to understand. And you figured it out without the help of a teacher. While I was gone, everyone figured out how to do this. You guys have serious skills. If you had gotten past that, then you would have been presented with a couple more items. You would have been starting in on some story problems that involved you drawing triangles and things like that. So I just wanted to see what you accomplished. Like, look at this. You started with this, and you now understand it. You show this piece of paper to anyone that is not in this class, and they will probably be very confused. Good job, guys, working hard, even though I wasn't here. That's not easy to do. I'm proud of you. Be good to the sub, and make sure you watch the next video on estimating square roots.